All right, thank you to everyone for joining the Internet of Value Foundation New York, episode 167. And for all those who come and listen to the future, I hope you guys find this information as valuable as I know I do every single day. I get to speak with a diverse amount of mindsets, perspectives that come in here. And of course, Vet and Shellfish, thank you guys for joining so quickly. Just feel free to hit the request or extension invites if you guys want to come up. Gonna keep it brief space, hour, maybe hour and a half, open forum for any conversation anybody wants to have in particular. And I'm also going to touch on a PDF file that was recently a paper published by Michael Levine towards probably maybe the end of the space, or we could just talk about the paper the entire time because it's definitely worthy of a long.
Can you hear me good, guys?
Yes, Vet. Welcome up, man.
Hey, what's up? Shelly, the stranger. Happy Monday, as people would say, I guess. Even though I've heard people say there is no happy Monday, but today there is.
I totally forgot it was Monday until you said something.
Right. Um, got a lot of work, but today Claude, there's a new version of Claude. Give me an update. You guys are the AI nerds here. Give me the update. I'm subscribed to all of them for like all of these services, and I'm getting to use them, but I use them. So give me the update. You guys know better than
Wait,
anyone else.
what do you utilize your models for?
Um, Average tasks, I would say. I don't do anything like fancy, like agents or something like that, where I let them run, do some things for me. No, I'm doing more actively, like when then I'm doing like a back and
Re-
forth
reference
that I'm working
checks.
on. Yeah, back and forth about the thing or whatever I need to do. So nothing too fancy, but still curious what's what's this update? There's so many models, and everybody tells me, no, 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 you should use this. I say, but it's the same thing. No, 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 you should use this. Even though they all got better, right? Because I use them all, but they all got better. Less, what is it? Less describing, less talking, more context. Yeah, since the first version, that's what I'm as an AI normie, let's say. Understand?
I feel like I can't really speak on Claude because I have not really engaged with it for the last few months. So I was just kind of listening in to see what the professionals were playing with. I know Jeff Major was in there and
Actually, I use this a lot for
Dazzling as well.
analytics.
Yeah.
Actually,
Oh, nice.
yeah, it's better for analytics than the other ones. That's what is much better. So when I do analytics, for work or anything like that related, it's much better. I figure because you kind of figure out, right? Like you have one thing that you want to do, you give it like one program, then you do it with another program, depending, of course, what you want to do, and then you figure out over time which one is getting you there.
I prefer to like I cross pollinate. Like I will prompt and then I'll throw my prompts back and forth and just kind of I don't know, dance between the two. It's pretty fun.
Yeah, I like it for the analytics part. That's something that stuck to me. But for anything else, even if it's just for testing things or code testing code or anything like that, the other ones are better, I would say. What else? For images, I think all of them are shitty, to be honest. Apart from what is it? Is it this? What is it called? I forgot the first one that we all used.
Were
Midjourney?
you not you
Midjourney,
weren't
exactly.
wait a second, you
Midjourney is
weren't impressed with my Muppet picture today?
Uh, it didn't get better. Like, I mean, not your prompts, but I mean the images. Like they're okay. And people are using it. It kind of lost their touch. You remember when it came out, everybody was using AI images, and now it's so embarrassing to use.
I think everybody's kind of moved forward to like the video prompting at this point. It's just kind of like one of those things now when you text or DM somebody, you can add like instead of an emoji, you can add a prompt with it. So it's just kind of standard. I think more standard. Desling's got his hand up.
So we were in that space before a bit, and I don't know if you were listening or not, but they were kind of running over it live, 3.7. I think a couple of the takeaways were that the benchmarks were overall not that great compared to the other models that have come out recently, your OpenAI and your Grok and stuff like this, but it did excel in its coding ability. So it seems as though that Claude does lead the way with its programming, which is absolutely fantastic. But the downside was that the guys up there, a lot of the EAC guys, were basically complaining that they were going broke by using the API. I did find that using the API directly is quite costly over there. But if you are using Cursor as your IDE, you can get those with your subscription. You can get the 500 fast prompts, and it's much cheaper than the API. But I did something was it last week that was a bit shitty, and so I went into the Cursor website, into their settings, and I actually added an extra 500 prompts for an extra, I think it was like $20 a month. And I didn't realize that I was grandfathered into that because they don't have that option available anymore. So I accidentally clicked the minus button, and I basically unsubscribed from an extra 500 prompts. So I'm gutted that, I've exited out of that now. And I'm curious to know if they're going to bring that back. But overall, like 3.7 looks fantastic. And I'm absolutely gutted too because I got to head out today, and I won't have time to play around with it until later. But it's looking good. It's a great tool that everyone can use for sure.
It's really, really good for. I mean, that kind of covers what I was saying about the coding abilities, because I was using it actually mainly for analytics. So this one, it was tremendously good, but it has the lowest amount of or the lowest threshold for prompts, right? By far. Yeah, I mean, I pay. I'm a subscriber, so I pay for them, and I get way more out of ChatGPT, way more out of Grok, obviously, and they are limiting it tremendously. Like depending on how much you do a day or something like that, you run very often into the limiter, and then they put back. But this one back is shitty. I forgot which model that is, and then it's when I see that I switch back to something else.
3.0 instead of 3.7.
Oh, something like that. Yeah, it's like shit. Like, why would you do that? And you're paying as much as you pay for these others. Like they're typically, what is it, like $20 a month or something like that. 20, 25. And but they have a way lower limit on that one. And it's not even accounting for how many tokens you use. It's literally whatever prompt. Like you can say hi, and it counts it like again as one prompt, right? It doesn't, and you can fill up the whole tokens, right? And it would still count it as one prompt, which is like unfair, because sometimes you have a question and it's like, I need to package that or something like this because I'm gonna waste one prompt for that shit. But yeah, anyway.
I try my best to switch between the free models and the paid models, especially when I'm using Cursor. I basically use Cursor's like kind of input model just on the fly, without even going to Grok or anything or GPT. I'll just go straight to that input there, and I always often forget to change between the paid and the free, and then you go to the free sometimes and you forget that you're on there and you go to do some like a more complex task, and then it just outputs this just jargon. And you're like, what are you doing? And you're like, oh yeah, I'm sitting on the free model. But the other thing I was going to mention too, just briefly, and I'll drop down because I got to go to work. But is that I've noticed that because so Shell put me on to Claude, and Dennis reinforced it for me. He's like, yeah, jump on that, and I noticed it took quite a while for Claude to kind of understand what I was wanting from its output. Where GPT I'd been using since was 3.5, and Grok I'd also used quite often as well. So I could kind of get what I wanted from those particular models, but Claude, it took a little while to kind of train on
on my personality, the questions, like all my input basically, so it could give me the output that I want. And so I've noticed that if you switch between a lot of these AIs and try them out, it seems to take a little while for them to train based upon your data. But once you get kind of locked in and you start using it more often, they tend to be much more responsive. So I just wanted to add that, and thanks for bringing it up too. That was great because I was listening to that space. So I'll drop down and you guys have a good day.
Thanks for coming,
Sorry.
Desmond.
What is this thing with Austin and like the crypto bachelor? Is this a real thing going on?
Yeah, you can participate there.
What?
Why don't you participate, Shelly?
Why don't you talk about it, Shellfish? What are you talking about?
I just happened to. I didn't know it was a
It's
joke.
dating,
I
crypto
didn't know it was a
dating.
joke. Apparently, Austin King from Omni is looking for something money can't buy: true love. So they're doing a bachelor with Austin.
It's a crypto bachelor. Yeah, and no, it's a site that you can participate, right? And they do it among crypto people, hence the name Crypto Bachelor. So yeah, if you want to find true love, I guess that's the way.
I don't feel like spaces are the best place, but
I
this should be interesting
I
to
would
watch.
say
Like, are we gonna like live feed? Like, do we get to like go on the dates with him and watch?
I
Like,
feel
is
like
it gonna is
crypto
he
is
gonna
the
have
worst
Ray-Ban?
place for
He
that
should have
for some reason.
Ray-Ban glasses on his dates. Let's all vote the whole time.
I feel like crypto is the worst place for that for some reason. I don't know.
Oh, and he'd like pause in the middle of the date and we can do a poll and he'll be like, "What should I say next?" And like,
But why
it'll be
does
like
he
a
have to
quick
be
poll.
crypto bachelor? Why not just normal bachelor? You know what I mean? Like
Is he
you cannot
normal?
limit.
Wait, is he normal though? Like
No,
he
he's a
is.
crypto guy. Like he's a crypto guy.
Yeah.
But why would you limit it to just crypto? You know what I mean? Like you know? Like why would you limit it to crypto?
Okay. So we should tell them to amend it. He likes crypto and long walks on the beach.
It would be even better if it would be more open because then you would have like these interesting conversations between people. Oh, you into crypto? Okay, can you tell me about, you know? But if you have two people coming from the same background, then is there really much to talk about? I guess I don't know.
Oh my god, I don't know. We all like don't shut up about crypto. I guess it is like maybe a match made in heaven, like finding crypto people on here. I
Yeah,
can't wait.
maybe.
I hope he wears Ray-Bans and like we all get to like go along on the date. So I think this would be awesome. Like we totally need to tell them to like poll during dates.
Imagine tribalism within the relationship. Like let's say one person XRP maxi and then Bitcoin maxi and every day. Imagine that.
They do that
That
on like
would be.
colleges. I remember like a lot of
Imagine.
people would like either UF or FSU, and like there was a constant battle.
I'm just imagining. Like imagine. I'm just imagining she would be like someone like Pierre, and she would even spread fun about XRP and stuff like that. Like imagine. No,
Let's
like
do
imagine this.
Karen. Let's do Pierre Karen picture for him.
Let's imagine this because this would be an easy one. But imagine everything is awesome. You understand each other very well. Everything is like all like top, right? But then when it comes to specifically this, and you're both from crypto, she's like a Pierre, and you are an XRP, maybe also Maxi with your own flaws, whatever. And then Jesus, like this one thing, I feel like would ruin everything. Imagine a timeline, getting after each other. So funny.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I wish him luck. I can't wait to see if this works out
Yeah.
for him. I don't.
I mean, granted,
I had
there
never
are,
heard about this before. I just happened to see Erie had posted it. So
yeah, I mean, granted, there are a lot of course, females in crypto, which is awesome. And why wouldn't it work, right? Like, why wouldn't that not be a good fit? It's a passion both people would share.
Because
You just have,
everybody in the crypto space is crazy.
yeah, I guess that's why I was saying it
I think you have to be a little.
originally.
You have to be bipolar, right? Like you have to be a little bit crazy up and down to like deal with the bear and the bull.
Of course, you have to be crazy. Yeah, of course, you have to be crazy. Um. So, yeah, I don't know.
That's why the Stoic space is coming in handy. That's why I'm like chomping at the bit. I can't believe they're bringing him back. Woo!
No, I personally think it's a horrible idea. I think there's there's way oversight of detriment possible, um, and just slight benefit, which would be one individual hopefully finding their long-term mate in some sense, which is
I
of course.
think it really also depends on your demographic, right? I believe if you are between, let's say, if you're between two, okay, I believe if you are in your, mm, what is it, between 25 and 35, maybe even between 30 and 40, but let's say 25, 35. I think you have in the XRP community the best chances because this is where there's a lot actually what is it?
Did somebody actually like create an algorithm though, like that would?
Clustering. There's a lot of clustering because of the age. There's a lot of clustering. Now imagine you are 18. Oh, no joke. If you are 18 and you want to find love in the XRP community, I think it's going to be tough. And I think it's going to be tough. Let's be honest.
Looking through
Hold
love and
on,
all
hold
the
on, hold on.
angles.
Wait. Let's just put this in perspective. Okay, Austin, hot guy, has everything going for him. Can't find a cute chick. Are you kidding me? Like he's got to do like this. Like why is that?
No, it depends on the demographic. I think it depends also on the community, right? Like maybe the Solana community is more younger. The XP community is more mature, right? Like this is people who they stand with both feet in life, and they um, it's just a different demographic. You need to find each other. Like imagine you are someone who is super into utility, super into real world, like all this stuff, and she or he is an absolute DJ.
Did you ever see that they had like the dating game and like there was like I can't remember there were like two cute guys and then there was Mr. Bean was the last one and she ended up picking Mr. Bean and she went to give him a hug and then he put his hand out and like put her hand like his hand on her forehead as in like get away and then like wipes his hand afterwards. I
But in
can just see
general,
this being like the funniest like I don't know it'll be fun. He's a good sport for doing it. I don't know who talked him into it, but I hope it works out. That is very brave of him.
in general, I would say it's actually maybe a good idea. I have to change my mind. Maybe it's a good idea, but yeah, but it's more tough. You need to look at different qualities. I feel. You know what I mean?
He has not obviously been on X Spaces long enough to know how crazy people are.
It's
I
I
don't
think
think
it's
you're gonna find love in X spaces, Shell.
it's less about the X spaces and more about the narrative. See, the thing is like when you bleed in the water, you attract sharks, right? And so if you're like, hey, listen, I got all this blood over here, and you're in the water, you're going to attract a lot of sharks. Now you're also going to attract dolphins and nice fish and all these other different things, and but you have to be aware of the
But the
danger.
dolphins are maybe too young. That's
The
also an issue.
dolphins are too
That,
young, Ben. Yeah, the
that,
dolphins are too young
that's what I'm
in
saying. The
conditions.
demographic is very
Yeah.
important. Yeah. So
Yeah, definitely demographic plays into it as well. But
yeah.
shellfish in the West, we have an epidemic, as it's being considered medical wise, of loneliness between males and females, right? And so yeah, go talk to somebody. It's yeah, there's
So imagine this: if someone would bring a really fire crypto or XRP dating app, it would be the following like this. The first month would be absolute maybe love in the air. You would have a lot of matches, maybe, right? People would be very happy. And I believe after the third or fourth month, it will turn into worse than before, right? Because this is maybe where the first breakups start, or people are getting into conflicts, disputes, whatever. Like I feel like this will.
Should we give him real estate advice like whatever the first offer is your best offer?
The first offer. I think a lot of people would probably take the first offer because, again, there's not much.
yeah, it's my own belief, but I think that relationships should have absolutely nothing monetary about them. Symbiotic
But
relationships.
this is hard when you're in crypto, right? This is the main
Whoa!
issue.
Wait a
Definitely,
second. Wait a
essentially,
second.
yes, I agree.
Financial transactions on the first date. I don't think that's a date, Dr.
Like imagine. Okay, I'm just imagining. She's a Bitcoin maxi. I'm into XRP, and we dating, and she's like, what are you into? And we both know we like from crypto, and so I'm like, yeah, look, I'm more from the XRP side, and she's like, imagine she's like scams and she's like, oh, have fun staying poor, stuff like that. And then, oh God, I'm just imagining how terrible
Exactly.
that would be.
These are the most
And then
likely.
I would say, you guys have incentives, and she would say, what are you talking about? And I would say, listen, the best incentive is no incentive.
Wait, so
And
so when he takes her on the date, like, and the bill comes, and he slowly slides the bill over in front of her to see what she does. Like, would that
oh
be
damn.
awesome?
In that case, she would have to pay, right? Because she would call me have fun staying poor, and she has Bitcoin, and she's clearly flexing, so she has to pay.
She goes halfsies.
Oh damn. I feel like it would be really fun. It would be really fun. But in X Spaces, you will have a hard time. I mean, you have 100 people maybe or something like that, and um,
I mean, it might be
80% or something.
from the perspective of our seeds vet. I mean, yeah, I definitely think it would be quite enjoyable.
By the way, actually, Shelly, you have a
Yes.
better chance than I do, right?
I'm
Because
going on a
you.
date with Austin. I would imagine so.
No, no, with Austin, but I mean, like there are more male people, like like guys in crypto than female, right? Like for me, it would be harder because there's like less. You have like way more actually. Yeah, like you have a lot more.
I could
Like in
tell you some
comparison.
crazy stories on why I've decided not to date on X more than the reasons
But,
why
but
I
but just from
would.
an odds perspective, right? Like there's so many guys here, like and it's just maybe a handful of women here. So and some people who pretend to be women are maybe guys even, like they have like fake
Okay, that
profiles, fake accounts.
my favorite
Jesus,
is going in and on, and then
what's
hearing
going on here?
the guys say how women that are divorced with children are easy targets, and I'm like, oh, and then you go in and like the next space you're in with them, and they're like, hey, what's up? And I'm like, are you freaking kidding me right now? Like, well played, dude. Well played.
But I feel XRP community would be then the better demographic for you, actually, right? Because again, more mature people, right? They no kids or something like that. I mean, we do have kids. Even though it's funny, like they call Nushi a kid or something like that, but Nushi is like grown ass man. He's not 25, 28. In my book,
Right?
that's a grown ass man.
He pays his cell phone bill and everything.
That's a bare minimum. That's a bare minimum. But yeah. Anyway,
Nishi's in like if he's he's gonna kill me for that comment later.
what do I say? Yeah, there's more mature people, right? There's more mature people, and so would be probably the better demographic for you. Like for example, Solana, I feel like would be terrible for someone who needs extra maturity, right? Because you have kids, okay? So you bring kids to the relationship, you don't want to have like a douchebag. If you would be single or
Wait.
solo,
Okay. So we're gonna go through the blockchain dating game. Okay, so Solana is like the meme douchebags. Is that what you're
yeah, like I
saying?
would say
Okay.
Solana, young people, crazy, trying to find out, what they want. It's a little bit more loose. Maybe more hookup culture. I don't know. I mean, it
Oh,
depends on
I'm
whatever
not
you
going to
do.
say the word, but it's the F boys, right?
Maybe. I mean, we are really
It's the F boys.
stereotyping here heavily, but I'm
Really
just feeling.
stereotyping.
I'm just
We're
This
no,
giving
no,
my.
this
we're building your pyramid. Let's keep building
no,
your
yeah,
Yeah.
pyramid.
not a good look. We're not building bridges right now.
What are Bitcoiners? I feel like Bitcoiners have a hard time because they're young,
Not
but more
bridges,
mature.
shellfish, pyramids.
Hmm. Bitcoiners.
Bitcoiners,
I don't know.
boomers, definitely the boomers. That's why it's
Oh
very easy.
yeah.
It's
You
easy
think
for them
so?
to.
Yeah.
That's why it's easy for them to comprehend because store of value. After you've went through turbulent times a couple times in your life, store value. It just I can see it. The words.
But what with the XRP community, to be honest? Like we have such a diverse community. You have like people who believe in Fed buybacks, but you have also normal people, quote unquote, whatever. I
Realists.
mean,
I like to think we're the realist community.
hmm. I feel like you have also a lot of crazy people, to be honest.
Yeah.
And
No, we
I
got
couldn't
plenty. We
find
got plenty.
myself like dating these people, and they probably wouldn't also want to date me because I would be also perceived as crazy for them, right? Like, oh, that's a tough thing. I mean, we didn't even enter this game, and then it's already like a terrible idea.
Damn
Yeah,
it!
I don't know.
Where's Austin? We need to interview him. Bring him up here. That's son of a DM.
I feel like it has to be definitely it has to be more random because you need to get first a conversation started specifically, and see where that goes. I feel like, specifically,
Oh, I love that
to
you say
see.
random because, random could also not be so random. I love that there's this term called platonic love, right? Like a explanation of overabundance of just unconditional love, and yeah, I think that's the best way for it to come about. No question about it.
Mhm.
Oh my God! Did you just segue into Michael Levine?
I did, yes, exactly. Because that same space of possibly just letting it happen, going with that flow, could have also always been the plan. But let me not
Ah,
break the conversation
yeah,
completely.
Well played,
I'll give it a couple more minutes before I hijack.
yeah. I mean, love in the crypto world. I don't know, man. Again, I think for you, Shelly, or general, I think for better chances, but better chances doesn't mean also um a better outcome or like a higher success rate. It doesn't necessarily mean that, because it's quality over quantity, maybe. That's also a factor. I don't know. It just gets too complicated, to be honest. Yeah.
I'm really intrigued. I hope we
Whoever
get to
would work
follow.
such
I hope
an
we I hope we get to follow
app,
along with his story. This should
yeah,
be
whoever
interesting.
works out an app or something like that, or whatever show, that would be cool. I mean, I'm definitely gonna listen to that crypto bachelor show, the crypto bachelor. That's gonna be hilarious. That's for sure.
Maybe they can launch a meme coin on their first date.
Yeah, see, I think if you would do something like that, the relationship is doomed,
Well,
right?
you never know.
Like,
Like if it's really successful, like maybe that's like it shows like how successful like the relationship might be.
you know, it's like, oh, honey, do you remember when we launched our first rug?
I mean, listen, Bonnie and Clyde.
When we dumped on them on our first date.
We burned them
Yeah.
all. Yeah, I can totally see that as a bonding experience. Yeah, nonetheless, Homo sapiens definitely bond over what would be devastating to some, but incremental to others.
Would you date someone who dumped their tokens on you? That's a good
Ooh,
one, right?
see, yeah, that's an interesting question, right? Because yeah, this goes to like my thought of unconditional love, right? Meaning there is no condition that needs to be essentially met for that petition of obfuscation of love to exist towards another. So yeah, I would say personally, if you truly loved that person, quotations of how we, I don't think you can love anybody or anything, but share love with it. I would say no, it wouldn't matter. But then, from a opinionated standpoint of ego, yeah, no, hell no. There's absolutely no way that any person would
Okay,
even be able to accept
let's
that.
put it that way. Would you date someone who launched less than 5 rugs or scam tokens? I feel like this becomes like the buddy conversation or something
Yeah,
like that.
Vet, if you asked it like this, also, right? Would you date somebody that robs you, but robs you cleanly in your face? Many probably would say no, but I bet you there's a ton of relationships out there where that exact thing
I'll be
happens.
honest. If I knew she launched 5 tokens and rugged them, that would be a tough for me because 5 is really hard. Because the thing is, you launched
What,
one.
what about
You did
three? What
you
about
didn't
three?
yeah, you didn't only launch one. Like you launched 5. Like Jesus, why did
What
you
if,
launch 5? Like
what if you
one, I
did
would
three?
understand.
What about three? Right in the
3 is
middle.
also hard, to be honest. I think one is okay because one would be like, hey, I just started or I just wanted to try it out. I just launched a token. But 5, Jesus, 5. Like why? Why? 5 is like 5 is too much.
I feel like this is like the 5 minute abs. It's like the 5 minute memes. Like
3
is five? No, five's not good. Three memes is okay, but 5 is too much.
What if they confided in you that they were actually addicted to doing it, not necessarily making the money?
I wouldn't believe it. I mean, that's even that's even more
would that make
terrible.
him? Would that make him a psychopath? That they would
Yeah,
do
exactly. It would be more terrible. Like if you launch 5 rugs, right, and she says like, "Hey, I did it for the money, whatever." Like, I dumped the tokens on them. They'll be ruthless, but okay, I get it. Like at least the motivation is not is not a psychopath. But if someone says, "Hey, I
they
dumped
say
on people and rugged
I
them,"
did it to teach them a lesson. I feel like I'm
yeah, but
their
listen. If someone
mentor.
says, "Hey, I dumped 5 tokens, I launched 5 tokens and dumped on people, not because of the money, but because I enjoyed it," like this is for me clearly a psychopath.
Seriously, like it was for their own good. If I didn't do it, somebody else would have. Enjoy your wine.
Oh Jesus, Shelley.
You see how easy somebody can convince themselves something
You
like that?
Dear
you
God,
feel
no, that would
you
be
feel very
awful.
comfortable in that role, Shelley.
No, I'm trying to like see how like they could actually rationalize it. Like, I mean, okay, this is coming off of like, I mean, I told you guys yesterday. My ex actually stole my wallet like keys yesterday, and I found them, and I'm like, holy shit! Like he
Oh
freaking
yeah,
was seriously gonna steal my
crypto.
crypto. How
Yeah.
crazy is that? Like how like the psychology of people. Yeah, you never know how low people can go.
I feel like that's actually a good tip. Maybe lean to also the space with NG and scams. If you would date such a person, I think you need your awareness level need like in general it should be very high, but I think it should be even more high, right? Because these people know then what they're doing, right? Like they know crypto, they know keys, they know all of that. And so you need to watch out more, right? Like a total normie person doesn't know about crypto at all, right? Like if they would see a ledger, they would think, oh, it's a USB stick or something like that. You know what I mean? But a crypto person would know. Okay, so you need to watch out more. I feel like with that sort of people for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I I got really lucky and caught them and was able to change my wallets. But you
Yeah.
guys were saying that in last week's space, you're like the people that actually try to steal are the people closest to you, and you would have never like even suspected the
Exactly.
whole time.
Yep.
So yeah, you have to keep your keys very close to you. I love the fact that is it Anados that has it so it's in like a trust form, so that way
Yeah.
people can get them after you pass. I
It,
think
that's the
that's
thing,
I
right?
think
If
that's
you have
actually
it,
kind of brilliant.
if you have it in a custodial solution or bank or exchange, it's safer, right? In that case, because um, I mean, unless they get the password and whatever, I mean that's all right. But if you have a ledger or a hardware wallet, it's like having all your money, right, like at home. Not so many people have all their money at home, right? They have it at the bank. So I mean, go have fun, rob the bank. That's gonna be tough. But at home, it's very easy, right? Like it's just a digital thing, very small. It's not even like gold, right? Like if you have $1 million in gold, that's a lot of gold, right? That you would need to. I mean, it's not that much actually, but still a lot of weight, that you would need to carry. While with a USB stick, it could be like it doesn't matter, like a ledger, same weight, whether you have like 1 Bitcoin or 1 million Bitcoin, right? It's the same weight. Um, so yeah, gotta be more on your toes. I feel like for sure should be anyway, very much, but yeah,
Okay, is it time to segue into
a different
platonic
topic.
spaces?
Yeah.
Platonic spaces. I know Michael Levine has been like on fire lately. I wonder if he's got access to Claude or like what he's working with because yeah, like he's pumping out videos like every 2 days. It's crazy.
But by the way, and you commenting, even one rug is too much. Jesus, man. I said, look, I said I would understand. Like one is still hard. Yeah, I agree. Like, but I could at least understand it because it's like the temptation. People say, hey, yeah, I don't know why I find myself excusing that. I feel like it's hard. Maybe in the future now it will be very hard to find anyone who didn't launch a rug. Imagine 5 years from now. Jesus.
I never launched any, but I probably inspired a few.
That's okay. I feel that's okay. But I would definitely, it would definitely throw shade on your circle of people because I would like, okay, you inspired a lot of rugs, so you maybe hanging out with a lot of ruggers. So
You are the vibe in your tribe.
yeah, yeah.
Why would one believe that they inspired rugs, Shellfish?
Yeah, what kind of rugs did you inspire? Did you give them like
I,
tips?
I, I don't know. We won't go into that. I did, however, I did, however, make some really cool cybersecurity AI like red teaming ones that were based off the cognitive security stuff I've been researching. So it's been really fun. I can't wait to see if I can implement it when I can actually code on that level. So yeah.
By the
And
way, is it a real thing that AI girl friends and boyfriends are on the rise? That is really true.
I don't know, but they're a great buffer. Like they keep weirdos away.
I feel like this is like
Relationships, yeah, for sure. And it's just going to grow with AI agents. And this goes back to what I actually just said a little bit earlier, that where there's actually it's considered a medical epidemic, but there is a series of loneliness, which is of course a perceived state of being, which leads to depression for a large amount of males and females in the West. So it's not just one; it's both.
But how can that be? Like, how can we have a loneliness epidemic on a female side and male side at the same time? Like, should that be solved if should that be solved if like people would just talk to each other? You know what I
Right?
mean?
And this is what
Like,
I'm saying. Like, go out and
Jesus,
meet with
talk to each
someone.
other.
Exactly. Don't be worried of the guy that just is high on the street, or the female that's sitting down at the park. Go say
Maybe
hi.
it's harder to talk to each other nowadays, I guess. But that,
It
that, that I would
it
agree. That would I agree,
it
maybe.
definitely is, especially I think dating apps like this personas that exist on social media. There's definitely more to grasp, I think, before entering what you would even going on a date possibly with somebody. And there's probably some complexity there, but I also think that it probably goes up and down as time goes on and on. It's I
What do you say also, what is it, what people typically list, what is it? Expectations or high expectations, or was it the other one? Unrealistic ideals, that this is social media is giving you or is trying to tell you,
That's right.
which
Dark hair,
doesn't
blue
match.
eyes, 6'5", tanned, six pack. That's it. That's the
You know,
like.
and same on the female side, right? Like, perfect proportions and whatever is just like also um, straight out of
I
movies.
mean, virtual reality is not going to be that bad. I don't think.
Selfish. I don't know if that was the comment I would have made after that.
Yeah, I think none of this will truly replace. Like, it makes never made sense to me. Like when people said, "Oh, I'm really into AI." Like sometimes in these spaces, people come up say, "Hey, I have an AI girlfriend or boyfriend." I'm like, how? Like this doesn't work. It's like, I mean, I talk to AI to
Okay,
fix to fix
hold
shit.
on. You don't
Not
think
to.
like the haptic suits and like virtual reality, like being able to, I don't know, like date people around the world, like
No, I need
like
emotions.
they're already catfishing as it is, and if you like are vibing with the person
Nah,
and all of a
zero
sudden you
chance.
find out you
That
find
that
out
I,
it's
was
like
I need emotion. I need to see the other person get angry, get sad,
Steve. That's
get
not okay with
whatever,
just
like a
the
human. You
right.
know?
You're not okay with just the electrical responses. You want the
I
bioelectrical responses. And
I was
and go ahead.
I was told that I should be okay with myself by myself, and my dog is good.
Hmm. No, no,
Dogs
there's
and cats are very friendly and very affectionate, and AI
sure,
boyfriends
sure.
and girlfriends are great.
Look, there's a difference between people say, "Hey, I'm totally fine by myself alone, and I enjoy myself, and my time." That is 100%. Like I 100% can resonate with that. Truly, with myself even. Um, but if you have that desire, right, like that connection to a loved one or a partner or something like that, I think searching it into like looking into AI is like this will truly um, probably kill humanity. Like this is like birth rate, everything gonna plummet because people gonna waste their time with that shit.
Yep,
Like you,
I love that you brought that up.
yeah, like you cannot waste time. Like surely you can waste time. Like eventually, right? Even for a man, like a lot of people look always at the woman's side and fertility and all that, which by the way is decreasing on both sides, right? Like sperm quality is declining massively. W- and same on the woman's side with the egg quality is also decreasing massively.
Is that
So
from the plastics? What's the
I
reason
have no
behind
idea.
that?
We have no idea. Like actually, I was talking to Danish, right? And Dr. Danish, people know him from the Bitcoin spaces, and he's a doctor.
Another surprisingly hot guy, by the way. I don't know if anybody's seen his picture like lately. He's put himself out there. Just
It's a
saying.
Bitcoiner, so I gotta put into the maybe the Bitcoiner section. I don't know,
I
but
don't know. We've kind of swayed
look,
over to the XOP side. He's not so
yeah,
bad.
yeah. No. What I'm saying is he himself was putting up articles, right? And I was commenting, hey, are there any like is it declining more rapidly or is it just a natural over many decades, right? He said it's accelerating, right? So something is more different in the past, maybe more a couple of years and so. And yeah, that's serious. Like people need to pay attention for that. And more and more babies are being born with fertility clinics and what is it, IV or whatever these all these things, to get.
Yes, IVF, yeah, becoming
Yeah,
very
IVF,
popular.
exactly. Which yeah, I mean it's tough. It's definitely tough. So people and I think if you I mean, everything is just so warped towards older ages, right? Like, education is until you're done with university because people, want to get college and university degree. They're like 25 maybe or 28, whatever, right? Like it's getting older and older, and then they want to get the first job, and then they want to have like a couple years in the job, and then you're at 35, and then or 33, and then you want to find a partner, and you're not gonna find one like in a month or so, right? So that's another maybe year or two, and then until you have maybe a relationship that is stable, that you feel comfortable having or bringing a kid, into the world, child, then you're like already at 35, 37, and that's like the worst, like it's not a good combination of all these circumstances. The sooner you can have it, the better it is. But I think life circumstances have changed massively in the past decades, right? Like I know my parents, right? Like they were early 20s, and I think this is not realistic anymore. Like early 20s, getting married and then having all this is I feel like yeah, it's challenging.
Hey,
And people
speak of the
get to
devil.
work. And
Vet, we have the Bachelor
oh,
himself.
Austin, come up, come up. We need to talk to you about the Bachelor, yeah, crypto Bachelor thing. We gotta talk about that.
Jesus Christ. All right. I'm here. What do you want to know?
So we talked probably for over an hour, upsides, downsides in dating in crypto, finding someone, true love, things that money cannot buy, because inspired by your participation in that. So tell us what's going on here.
I mean, so the background story is Grace on our marketing team. I don't know who she was messaging, but like 2 days ago, she was like, "Do you want to be on the Crypto Bachelor?" I was like, "What the fuck do you mean the Crypto Bachelor?" And she was just like, I don't know. They put together this show, and apparently they're really gonna like put effort into producing it well. And there's 10 girls. Here are their Instagrams. Do you want to do it? And I was like, all right, fuck it. Like it's the Gen Zio account is the one that's actually coordinating all this, and apparently they're like the main people doing Eat Denver. So honestly, I don't really know what's going to happen. All I know is this is gonna be pretty fucking funny. So yeah,
I
I'm
want to
honestly.
know the budget. Like, are you guys going to do like the full like TV show Bachelor where you take them on helicopter rides and horseback riding?
I don't know if there's gonna be horses involved. One thing to note: we're not spending money on this. We don't fucking spend money on marketing in general for most things, but especially this. But I don't know. It's not like I was over at the house. I had some interview with them for just actually Omni related stuff earlier today. Um, and it seems like they brought out a bunch of like really quality equipment. So yeah, we'll see what this turns into. The only insider info that I have on this that you all probably don't is I've seen the girls' Instagrams. That is probably, but like past that, I don't I don't really know what's going to happen here.
So Austin, what is in general your thoughts on dating in crypto?
It's super funny because one of my hard rules is I don't date people in the industry. So
We just talked about that.
See,
yeah.
literally, I have to say, Austin, you were going into it, even before you just spoke, going into it with the right mentality. You're just like enjoying it. You're going for the ride. It's an invite. That is the best way that you could ever be part of one of these types of things, for sure, in my opinion.
Yeah, and I was like, people are definitely going to talk shit and say that this is super stupid, but whatever, like engagement, I guess. But yeah, I mean, I think I know some of these girls are not in crypto. I think it's roughly like split. I know that I know at least one girl has a podcast. Some of these girls have like hundreds of thousands of followers though. And so we looked at their Instagrams and we're like, okay, well, at minimum, this company seems invested in producing it really well. And each of these girls has like a pretty big following. So, I mean, fuck it. Like, let's just see where this thing goes.
Okay, so what is your dream date with this with one of the girls gonna be like if you get to plan it?
I don't think I get to plan any of them. I think I am just a puppet that I do what I am told. And they're intentionally being kind of like, uh, they're keeping me in the dark intentionally as well. I think they're plotting some shit to catch us off guard, to try to create better content. So honestly, I really don't know much about what's happening. Yeah, we'll see. I think so. It's all happening over the next week here in East Denver, and I think they're going to be releasing it in the weeks to follow after that, though.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. Why you say your rules not dating in the industry?
I
Can you
mean,
give a couple of reasons?
I think we can all relate to this that like crypto people are weird, like me included, to be clear. Like yeah, like we're all weird, like we all know that, and that's okay. We can accept that. I don't know.
Motherfucker, the Pope said.
Wait, what was that?
That was a
Sorry.
man that I kicked down. Don't worry about it. It's all right.
Yeah. Okay. Um, but yeah, I don't know. It's crypto. Like I've spent 8 years building in this industry. I feel like the number one way to make things messy is get like involved in a relationship sense with somebody else. My ex-girlfriend actually, she worked at Visa and then she ended up joining crypto while we were dating. But we're no longer dating. So, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's just like I tend to keep my like personal life pretty decoupled from uh like work life, especially just relationships. I don't know. It just can get messy, and I
Yeah,
love
I
crypto, and
agree.
I'm not trying to like make anything messy.
Oddly
So
enough, you mimicked my exact thoughts as well before you came in here, so that's really
Yeah,
awesome.
well said. And
yeah, mhm.
yeah, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, yeah, I don't think it's like a crazy take. I feel like most people can understand, like, all right, work
Yes,
is work, like personal life is personal life.
100%, 100%. It's funny. So you basically onboarded her into crypto, right?
Yeah, and I mean, she got the job on her own and stuff. But yeah, she pretty sure she still works in the industry. But yeah, definitely was not like a degen. It was more of a kind of like Web 2.5 company that she ended up joining.
So we talked also about different demographics and maybe even types of people in different ecosystems within crypto. How would you describe maybe a couple of the more prominent communities? What kind of people would you find there? Like we talked about Solana, maybe more younger generation, XRP, maybe more mature, something like that. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, going over the top ecosystems. I mean, I'll say this in I'm not making fun of anybody. Like, well, I am, but I'm not. Like Bitcoiners, crazy. I think we can all probably agree. Like, I love Bitcoin. Like I buy Bitcoin every week. But like hardcore Bitcoiners are crazy. XRP army. Yeah, I think people in the XRP community tend to be a bit older. I don't know what that
Yeah, it's
reason
true.
is specifically, but that's kind of my read that uh yeah, it tends to be people who are kind of in the range. I mean, I can actually see this kind of surprised me seeing my Twitter analytics.
Exactly.
Like weeks I would post more about XRP. It was the primary age range was 30 to 50, and I was like, whoa,
Exactly.
this is
Yeah.
not what I was expecting. ETH I think is a bit younger. I think ETH is age wise in between Solana and XRP, and I think it's a lot of very like idealistic people who are very much in it for the like ethos. But I don't know. The ETH community is going through like a really interesting stage of its evolution right now. And Solana, yeah, definitely younger, uh, definitely more degen and like less in it for the ethos, and more in it for the gambling at this point. But like mixed in with some like really fantastic engineers. I definitely have
Yes.
a ton of respect for some of the engineers building in the Solana ecosystem because honestly, it's
Yeah,
like
like
pretty cool tech.
Mert. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, he's really good.
Yeah. No, that's really cool. And it's funny because we were talking about the different demographics and types of people and all that. We also were talking about, hey, what if you find someone like also in crypto, but you kind of have like so opposing, like everything is totally awesome, like the rest of the relationship, but and views, just totally opposing views on crypto, and both working in the industry. I feel like that kind of is like a good recipe for disaster.
Yeah.
For some reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think it'll be interesting to see how it plays out over the next 5 years. Clearly, crypto is still a very like tribal space, and people like strongly aligned with specific communities. But I do think we'll see a dilution of that to a certain degree as we onboard more users who just kind of happen to end up using crypto. I think we'll see more people that just they just like happened to be using a crypto app and they weren't even like using it because it was a crypto app. It just happened to be one. And I think that those of us who are here today who tend to like identify more strongly with specific communities, like they'll just be more kind of normies joining the space over the longer term here. But I think that's good. I think tribalism has held back this industry in many ways throughout time. So yeah, I think it's good overall.
Do you believe it's easier for women in crypto to find someone than for, I guess, guys and men? Because
From a dating lens?
yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, table stakes, there's probably like, I don't know, I would imagine 7 to 10 times more
Yes.
guys than women in crypto. So like that is definitely a variable. But again, going back to the beginning of it, like we're weird. Like, like there's a lot of weird people in crypto. And so I'm sure women in this industry have to put up with a lot of like weirdos, honestly. Like
Oh yeah.
from like almost every friend of mine that's a girl in this industry like has had a weird experience where it's not necessarily that people were malicious or nefarious, but they're just like I don't know, like at a conference, somebody is kind of socially weird and like doesn't know how to talk to somebody properly, and they're just kind of weird to them and make them uncomfortable in some way.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I'm sure being a woman in this industry right now is like a difficult experience, honestly, because there's so many guys, and a lot of us are very like, I don't know if I would say like introverted necessarily, but just very like engineering brain types, you know?
Yeah. I think you nailed it with the weird aspect a little bit, and socially awkward or whatever, and that makes it very difficult, I guess, for them to navigate. I guess the scene, because like you don't know what that person is up to and all that. We talked about this, Alice, and funny. Man, I'm curious to hear your thoughts, because we talked about, hey, what would be a deal breaker, and we said, hey, what if you would find out that she rugged at least 5 meme coins?
Oh wow, that's so funny. I actually love this game of red flag or deal breaker. I feel like if you're just out with friends, it's a fun game to play. But all
Yeah.
right, red flag or deal breaker, rugged 5 meme coins. I don't know. I don't want to date a criminal. That's pretty simply criminal at that point. Yeah,
Look,
yeah,
I said one would be okay, because I feel like, maybe the first one was like, hey, I just wanted to try it out. But five is
yeah,
like, hey, you kind of a serial,
yeah, yeah. They have no
rugger.
moral qualms. Like they're having fun at that point.
Hey, Lady K, what's up? Clearly you're enjoying the convo.
I am. Hello.
Hello.
What are you thinking on dating in crypto? like Austin is gonna do the crypto bachelor very soon.
Dating crypto. Well, I think it would be nice for people to share interests, right? Like shared interests, but I don't think it's like that important.
How is your experience? How long have you been in the industry, lady? I see that in your bio it says you run a few validators.
2021.
Okay, cool.
And so I'm married. It's going to be 25 years this year, but he's in a crypto too. So
Okay,
yeah.
well, that's a long enough marriage that it really precedes crypto. So the
Right.
foundation is there. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, who got who into crypto as well?
Actually, it was my husband's idea first. Yeah.
What was the first like dipping of toes? Which ecosystem?
Oh, do you guys really want to hear this story?
What is it
You're
like
blushing
Cardano or
already.
something?
You're
Yeah, like
blushing.
what is this?
No, it was like around 2010. He was like, let's, buy into this Bitcoin, and we were discussing it. It wasn't explained to us correctly. It was like you got to find it in computers. This guy put it all around, and you have to understand. Like I try and explain to people, like at the time, iPhones had just come out 2 years prior, right? Like people were not walking around with a PC in their pocket. So I was like, how is a digital currency ever going to take hold? Like, what do you have to come home to transact? Like, this makes no sense. It's never going to happen. And so, like, obviously, I was clearly wrong, did not foresee the world changing in the way that it did. So, when we realized that, we started looking into it, but then XRP ended up being the first thing we bought.
God, I like that description of some dude went and hid the coins around in the computers.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take that and start explaining it that way.
That's how it was explained to us.
I mean, from a removed enough lens, it's kind of accurate. It's definitely not, but it's a fun way to explain it.
Right?
So it's all gonna happen in East Denver, you say, Austin?
Yep.
Okay.
First, I think, yeah, it's kicking off tomorrow, so I can actually get work done today. But yeah, all the like talks and yeah, my calendar the rest of the week is just slammed. Like it's all like talks and panels and stuff in the first half of the day, and then whatever's gonna happen with the show in the second half of the day.
Nice, nice. What are your expectations? No expectations, just participating, or
I'm
actually
expecting to
curious?
laugh. That is honestly
Okay.
my number one expectation. That I have no doubt that this is going to crack me up. Fast that I mean, I'm sure some of the women are going to be interesting. From the Instagrams I saw, it's not a doubt in my mind. Some of these girls are characters. So that's really all I've kind of like got locked in my head.
That's fun. That's actually really fun.
Yeah. All right. Well, I was working when I got the DM, so I have to go knock some stuff out. But thanks for kind of bringing me up. I hope all of you find happiness and love in your personal lives. I'll chat with you all later. Good seeing you again, Bet.
Thank you
Thank
for
you
coming,
for coming,
Austin.
Austin.
All right,
Yeah.
Austin, that was fun. Thank you.
Yeah. Cheers, everybody. See you.
Oh, we gotta stay tuned. So let's see.
Hey, he has great takes. He has great takes. Great perspective, at least in my
It's funny
opinion.
because the what we talked about is similar to his thoughts, right? Like we went also through demographics, red flags, and stuff like that. But yeah, let's see. He said he will keep the community updated.
I should have asked if it was going to be like a live feed kind of event or if it's going to be something that's recorded. Figure if
That's a
it's
good
part of an
question.
event, it'll probably be recorded somewhere.
You can actually do it also like Lady K, right? Like after you married, you on board together. I mean, then you also crypto people, basically that are married together. So you don't have to find it here. You can also jump in together after.
I like that. As long as there's a foundational part in the relationship of investments in general and some sort of monetary like policy kind of structure. Yeah, I think that that fits still pretty well with a
Wait, hold
long
on.
relationship.
We have Marvin on stage. Marvin, it's probably 6 months ago since the last time we talked.
Who?
You,
I know.
easily.
Just my observation. I have a good question.
How you doing, man? Are we doing good?
Dive in.
Yeah, we cannot hear you though.
Oh, could you not hear him speak? I heard him speak beforehand.
Yeah, but he stopped talking.
It sounded like he cut out.
Yeah.
You there, Maybe
Yeah,
he
you see?
got a phone call, maybe.
Maybe.
You know, it's interesting, right? Because, like, I guess the problem would be when it comes to like shared finances, right? If you're like deciding where to put your money and your partner doesn't, you know, isn't interested in investing in crypto, I could see problems being there.
Yeah, exactly. Like if you guys already have some sort of monetary policy substrate that you've built into, say, the relationship, there's that relationship of understanding already there. That I think should be a pretense to, yeah, what you would think of as a monetary part of a relationship for sure.
What if the coins are not going up as much together, right? Like imagine an XRP holder and she's a Bitcoin holder or he, and XRP is doing like 2, 3, 4, 5x, and Bitcoin just only 20, 30, 40%. Would that be an issue?
Like that's who's paying that night.
What do you mean?
Ask the courts,
Like
and they
who's
would.
paying for dinner that night?
Oh,
No, if you ask the courts, they would tell you that you both own the Bitcoin and you both own the XRP.
right. So that's a good way to see it, I guess.
Yeah, as long as you're looking at it that way, because then that's why divorces become messy. Because if two people didn't look at it that way, then there's a ton of fighting that just emerges from it. Oh, we lost them there though. Maybe he'll come back. He'll come back up.
So with Florida, like talking about getting rid of like the property tax, would like digital assets be considered property?
Digital assets are considered property.
But real property and personal property are two separate things, right? So when they say get rid of the property tax, are they talking about like real property tax or?
I don't know. I'd like to see like where DeSantis goes with it.
Wait,
That would be state. Yeah, so that would be more your state. Sorry, go ahead.
yeah. Speaking of that, like, hey, you went down there, and what are your, because I know you work in real estate, so I want to hear your thoughts. What is the market down there? Would you say it's like a good market to be in? Are there some
Oh
good
no, it's
places
a
to
bad.
buy?
Yeah, it's a bad market down there right now. So there was an open house on the street I was staying on, so we went up there, and they had already dropped from 1.1 million to 780,000 in 42 days.
But isn't that a good time to buy then?
It would be a good time to buy, yes. Interest rates have come down somewhat, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of a sweet spot to buy. Interest rates coming down a little bit more would be a really sweet spot. But once those rates come down more, that should kind of
More
help.
buyers, right?
Right. It more buyers, and then that should help. And then, so you kind of want to hit those middle while it's shifting.
Yeah, where in Florida would you say is like a good mix between very affordable or quite affordable housing and a nice place, ideally, I guess at the beach or somewhere like that, and maybe not necessarily directly in a hurricane zone.
Yeah, I don't know the real estate like that. Shellfish might know better.
Oh, Shelly, yeah, maybe Shelly.
It's
Because I
sort
heard
of
like North
like,
Florida is like a tip. I heard. I don't know. Shelly.
I mean, we get storms all over the state, so it just depends on where the La Nina and El Nino tend to kind of come down every year. So it either pushes them off or pulls them onshore.
Okay, but places like North Florida, is it really a good place or no?
So again, like it would depend on the year. Pensacola, Mexico Beach got just completely devastated.
Tampa got devastated on the like kind of armpit part of Florida. I don't know, Miami got wiped out. Like it's really hit or miss. However, like the damage is very isolated. Usually, the eyes of the storm are pretty tightly wound, so you have like I don't know, depending on the eye, it could be like a 10-mile wide eye that's just completely wiped out.
And I believe if you are in
Yeah,
the I believe in you are in the inland, then you're safe, probably, right?
yeah. The further inland you go, definitely, because they make everybody evacuate the shoreline.
Hmm.
From coming, you typically
Okay. I guess the downside would be then no beach for you if you are in the inland, but then you are safe from hurricanes.
I mean, my brother has a place that's on the beach that's been there since like the 1920s, and they're mobile homes, and they have their own boat slips. They have like
Oh,
these
cool.
huge, really, yeah. I mean, they've never been. Oh God, knock on wood. Like I hope I don't jinx them, but they haven't been wiped out. Like that's been there
Hmm.
for a really long time. So I don't know. It's a
Would,
matter of luck, I guess.
would, yeah, would you move down there, Lady K? Because of the weather and nicer place.
Oh gosh, I do love the weather and the food, and they've got some great tax, like from what I've heard. Um, but I need to go during the summer because I've only ever gone during the winter, and it's pretty hot. I would need to know what it's like during the summer before I commit.
Oh wow, yeah, summer must be terrible. That's for sure. Yeah, but that's why I guess you have AC, right?
Yeah, but I grew up on the West Coast and we don't have like that humidity, and everyone talks about how bad it is there, so I'd have to like experience that to see if I
I
could
can
handle
say
it or not.
it's way better than going to Vegas in the middle of summer. Like that is such a an impressive, like I think it's like 110, 120 like degrees. It really is miserable.
Oh,
I
so I
heard
can handle that. I can handle that, but everyone tells me humidity is like worse in that kind of heat, which I've never really experienced. But I love when I've been out in 117-degree weather. I love that warmth.
I mean humidity is good for the skin, I guess. I heard that in that environment. But
So maybe it won't be
I
so bad. But
I
we
remember. Oh,
Oh,
go
I
ahead,
was
go
just
ahead.
gonna say, when we were driving around though, like in the boat and stuff, you could still see places that were hurricane damaged, like here and there. It
Hmm.
was kind of interesting, you know. It hits one, doesn't hit the other. Maybe one's fixed, one's not. I don't know, but yeah.
It's just like with the wildfire that was in LA, right? Like you were seeing like one house completely total fine, and the one next completely burned down. But I remember like Fish Tingles was saying one thing that I super resonated with, and he said that people typically say, oh yeah, like let's say in that case with Vegas, but it applies to every place on Earth that has dry heat. People say, oh, it's like dry heat. It's not humid. Like dry heat would be better. And he was like making fun of it because it's like heat is heat, and it's so true, right? Heat is heat. I feel like, and it doesn't change much because one is I guess yeah humid, and the other one feels like you just open the oven. You get like hit by that, so it's the same. So whether it's dry or humid, I personally didn't never felt a difference, and I experienced both. So
I think one of the issues that's coming up with Florida is from a medical standpoint as well. Other than insurance, the medical costs over there are just astronomically becoming unreasonable, and to find a doctor almost impossible at this point in time because of all the elderly that's moved over there. So that's one thing to take into consideration if you may have medical needs or necessities. Yeah, Florida may not actually be the best place to be.
That's interesting. I was just talking to my mother about this because she can't see anymore, and they told her she has cataracts, right? Now, insurance is going to cover this. And they're like, you can pick. We'll fix your eyes, and you can either be nearsighted or farsighted. And if you want us to fix both, insurance doesn't cover it, and it's $2,500 an eye. And so, of course, my mom's like, I'm not paying $5,000. They can just, pay an insurance. I'm like, you have the money, just fix your vision. But no. But I'm thinking about it, and I'm like, what's the difference? You're still going under. Why would 20/20 vision cost so much more? I don't understand. It's weird.
Ooh, I am not an eye doctor, so I don't want to give any incorrect information, but there could be something with the type of lens that's used. I would figure, because I think the cataracts is they cut the eye open and essentially slip out the lens that's essentially fogged up over time, and then they slip in a new lens. And so maybe there's something to the cost of a lens, or it's just another way that the insurance company is able to take advantage of not covering costs of some things that they don't want to have to take care of, right? Because
Yeah.
the odds are the majority of people even will take a loan out to fix their eyes the correct way rather than either have to decide if they want nearsightedness or farsightedness. It's like which detriment do you want? Almost. Yeah, that's an interesting thought.
Right?
Yeah. At the end of the space, though, I went a little bit over that hour mark there. It was a really fun conversation. Lady K, though, if you have any last minute thoughts or anything you'd like to say, please feel free to jump in, and I'm gonna close up in the next like 30 seconds to minute or so. Oh, Shellfish, you came back. Welcome.
Oh, thanks for having me up.
Oh, I actually, I got a phone call, but I have to go to work. So I just wanted to jump in and say thank you for the space. It was really good.
You got it. Well, we are closing up right now, and for everybody that has a chance and would like to, top of the space. Actually, you know what? I should really take this post and give me a second. Let me put it in the bubble. Top of the space from Michael Levine. Ingressions from the Platonic space as influences beyond genetics and environment. Not the weirdest thing I plan to write, but perhaps the farthest out there so far. It's a 53-page PDF document from him. Essentially, it's almost like the last 5 to 6 years of his work put into a single PDF paper in which he describes the understandings of the biological nature and which the patterns of an action are occurring, and brings it all the way down to a platonic space of symmetries and fractals and almost in a quantum relation to the macroscopic actions that are occurring. And so he writes it very beautifully. Of course, it's a 53-page document, so I don't know if everyone's able to take that all in one setting, but I'm going to make that the next topic of the next space. I just wanted to give some time for people to read upon that. Plus, we had a really fun dating in crypto space today, so I think this is definitely going to be one to share around for sure. It was fun. Shellfish, go ahead.
Yeah, I think last week you missed the space when the Majorana, how do you say it? The new superchip came out. So maybe that could be another thing that we discuss at your next space, because I'd like to delve into it more and like the implications. I know we've been kind of skipping along in other spaces talking about it here and there.
Yeah, definitely not a super chip, but great marketing nonetheless. I actually spoke about.
Sorry, quantum chip.
Yeah, you're right. No, I definitely actually that's interesting because I actually spoke about this about 8 months ago, 9 months ago. I brought up the mention of these different types of materials that were actually being used in cahoots of making the processors that were actually having a longer lifespan of qubit retention inside of inside of the logic gates. So yeah, it's definitely cool. Nonetheless, it's uh quantum. I thought that I think the coolest aspect was that is that many people looked at it and they were like, "Wow, look how small quantum processor chips can be." And I thought that was really cool because actually almost all of the quantum processors that have ever been made are chips that size. The whole machine, the contraption that you look at that looks like this giant quantum, processing machine, is all really wires, sensors, and different types of materials to have the ability to have the cool nature of the system still be able to also operate. And so yeah, it's like, you know, the actual quantum processor has always been this very small, minute chip, just like we have in our phones. Actually, it's well, the size of your hand, so it's bigger than a phone. But yeah, nonetheless, that whole system on it is really just to be able to articulate the actual actions that are occurring inside of the chip and then propagate those mathematically. All right, love everyone. Hope everyone has a great rest of the night. See you guys on the next one.